love it when our membership grows. Always a wonderful time for me. We have something else to celebrate today. Today we are also celebrating the 19th anniversary of our center. Yay! Actually, on January 15th, 1995, that Barbara and I opened up our home for people to come. And people came. It's quite amazing. And we have met, I think, every Sunday since, with maybe the exception of a couple of snow days where nobody showed up. But other than that, yes, we've always met on Sunday mornings for 19 years. So as of Wednesday, which is the official date, the 15th, we'll start our 20th year. Isn't that great? Yeah. So this time next year, well, let's have a really big party. Okay, good. So I would like to ask David to turn up the house lights because I'm going to do a little process with you. Being is, we took in members today, and about 19 years ago, we thought about membership for the first time for this organization. I'd like to do a little survey with you. If you were a member of this center during its first 4.5 to 5 years when we were out in what was called the cornfield in Fairview, North Carolina, would you please stand if you were a member at that time? It's getting skimpy. Okay, 3 people. I'm the number 4, so 4 of us stand.
David.
Oh, David. No, well, okay. No, I got it. Go ahead, David. You'll get to stand up. Okay. So yeah, no proxies. I do that every time we go to one of our conventions. No proxies. Okay. Thank you for holding the organizational memory of our community, for remembering where we came from and what that was about when we were a small group meeting in a country location. Thank you for bringing that to this so that we can have that memory, have that history, and have that longevity of who we are. Would you please acknowledge these? Now, if you have become a member since we've been at this location, excluding today, I would like you please to stand. Yay. Let's give them a hand. We sat out in that cornfield and envisioned you. We did. We had a man named Carol who was near the end of his life, who insisted on speaking to us, reminding us that this was more than us. The ones that were in the room that night. We have pictures of people in the room that night. They were beautiful. And their vision was for you to find us. And Barbara would say, people are looking for us. We have to give them a way to find us. They're not going to find us out here. So we came into Asheville. We built this building, and you showed up. Thank you for showing up. God bless you. Yeah. And then we have these people who join today. And I know you've already been acknowledged, but one more time, wherever you're sitting, would you please stand if you became a member today? There's a whole row there. They're a unified force. Thank you very much. You can sit down. What I want to say to you is thank you for catching the vision, for seeing that we're still relevant in the lives of people, and that we're not a closed organization, a clique, some group that has its own way and isn't open to others and other ideas. You do not come here as new members. I really don't like that idea of new members. You're not new. You bring your fullness into this organization. You bring all of your consciousness. And if anyone thinks that you're not up to par with the rest of us, that's just not okay. We are all in this together. We are all finding our way. In fact, I believe that what we have, all of us as a community, is a seeker's mind. We are seeking to know something. We are seeking to reveal something. A lot of times it looks like we're doing it on the outside, but we're not. Everything we're seeking is on the inside. We are working from the inside to try to clean up that stuff that we tried before that didn't work. We're all doing that. None of us have that worked out. We're all still on that path. And although many times in my treatment work, I give thanks for the seekers and the finders, because we do find things. The truth is that even those of us who find something like this center are still seeking. We're still seeking to go deeper, to more clearly understand who we are on this journey of life. How we can be effective, how we can live that dream that we have. We're all seeking to know how to do that at some level, in some way. Barbara and I visited one of our members who isn't firm enough to get up and come here as regularly as she used to. And we sat with her, and even as she shared her life, she's still seeking. She's still seeking to bring the loose ends together in her life, to heal relationships, to make her life work as best she can. And by God, if she can do it, so can we. We're all in this together, and that's why we come to a place like this, so that we can support one another on that journey. So that we don't have a hierarchy of consciousness here. We have a blending of consciousness that allows us to have such a beautiful and wonderful way to connect with one another, to hear beautiful music, to share our dreams, to share our talents, to do all of the things that we do here. And to get rid of some stuff. To get rid of those things that have held us in a place of not good enough for far too long. No judgment, but it sure feels like that a lot of times. That too long we've had some limitation in our lives that we're really tired of. Obviously, we're getting close to a place where we're going to do something about it. But no more are we going to be satisfied with that incestuous, nasty part of us that wants to keep ourselves down by judging others, by judging ourselves, by seeing ourselves as not good enough, by finding fault in others. Oh, does that word incest bother you? Okay, I'll change it. No longer will we cannibalize ourselves. Those nasty thoughts that we come up with that keep us down by thinking that we're going to hold somebody else down. You like that? I worked on that. The idea is that we are none of that. We are magnificent beings of love and light. And only we can cover ourselves with the proverbial bushel basket. Only we can do that. So we come to a place like this. We take our chances. We're all risk takers to come in a place like this. I see many people that come in here for the first time. Have you ever noticed that when we say, who's here for the first time? Most of them are toward the back of the room, closer to the doors. I don't blame them. It's when somebody's here for the first time and sits on the front row, I go, whoa, watch this. Because it's just kind of natural that you want to take this slowly. We had great stories yesterday. We had one story about how someone had met a member at another place and another time. Actually got together with a group from the center, but the center was never mentioned. They were just friends. And that they kept meeting in life over and over under circumstances. And finally, the idea of the center came up. And this one that was telling the story saying, I don't know what she's got. She's happy. And now, today, she joined the center. I don't know where Robbie is, but you're here. Thank you. Thank you. That was so lovely. Yeah. We had another situation yesterday where someone told me what my talk meant. That I had done something from the stage here, and that it meant something very important to him, and it was very useful in his life, and I didn't get that I'd done that. And it really woke me up to the fact that really I do touch people's lives, and they use what I say in meaningful ways. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah. This is what we do. This is how we do it. Now, the thing I want to talk about today, that's the title on the screen, really is about how that works. How does that work? And is there a right or a wrong way to do it? I believe that we do have our relationships based on these three standards. Some of them are for a reason. Some of them are for a season. And some are for a lifetime. None of those are wrong. Barbara mentioned, as she was talking to those who joined the center today, that thousands, perhaps, I think she's a little ambitious with that, but a lot of people have joined this center. Where are they? That's sort of how life works. When August Gold was here, we pulled out the video of us building this building, or the building next door, and Devon did a beautiful video about that. And at the end, what she did was she superimposed faces. She would have one fade out, another show up, and their eyes are pretty much in the same place. It was beautiful. And as I watched that with August and Carol and Barbara, the thought that came through my mind was, they're gone. They're gone. That one's gone. Oh, that one's here. Oh, but that one's gone. That one's gone. Most of them weren't here anymore. And sure, there was a little sadness in that moment, but truly, there was nothing wrong with that. Some of those people came for a reason. We've had a lot of people show up here just to help us build things. They show up at just the right time. They bring their skills and abilities and they build something, and as soon as it's built, they're gone. And we go, what happened? Did we do something wrong? No. They came for a reason. People come for lots of reasons. Some of them feel better than others, but they're all valid. There's a story of a community, a religious science community out in California, in Long Beach, where a bunch of people all decided to join. All these droves of people came into the community, and the minister was excited, I'm sure, that all these people wanted to be members. Well, they had their annual membership meeting. We're going to have ours next week. And at that membership meeting, someone made a motion that the board of that community be dismissed. And they voted on it, and they dismissed all the members of the board. Basically, it was these new members that dismissed the board. And then they put in place their own board. And then they took over the center and sold it. And gave all the money to the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. Because they were followers of him. They were there for a reason. And you go, well, that's just wrong. No, it's not. If you don't have a system that actually allows you to say what your community does, that kind of thing can happen. Do you know that every center in this movement changed their bylaws immediately? So that could never happen again. What a learning experience. And it only costs one center. I have found in my life that I have had many times a relationship or moved into a relationship for a reason. When I left Houston after I had been there from my late teens up until about 29 years old, I decided to leave Houston. My business was closed, my marriage was over, and I had to go somewhere, so I went to Australia. And I happened to be in therapy at the time. And my therapist really tried to talk me out and said, this is the worst thing you can do. You need to stay here. And I just said, no, I don't. And I went to Australia. And it took me 3 days to find my first spiritual teacher. My first real spiritual teacher that really woke me up. No regrets. How long was I there? About a year. I came back to the United States. It took me 3 days to find religious science via Barbara. Her name wasn't Waterhouse at the time. But I went to Australia for a reason. A very important reason. I went to begin my awakening. No regrets. So reasons are perfectly good to have for relationships. There's lots of things that happen for a reason in this community, in every connection that you have. How many stories have I heard that a couple show up in Asheville, out here at the center, one of them's saying, I just had to come to Asheville, and the other one's going, I have no idea why I'm here. But they stick around, and 6 months later, that person that said, we have to go to Asheville, says, we have to go to Spokane. And the person that's been here in the center for 6 months goes, not me, I'm staying here. Yay! And the other one leaves. Isn't that lovely? And everybody gets what they want. Reasons are okay in relationships. They aren't always pleasant, but they're always okay. They're always the workings of the divine. Then we have people who are in relationship for a season. That's kind of a different experience. That's not so necessarily as intense, but it's equally important. The idea of being in a relationship for a season means, to me, that has to do with a state of consciousness. That I am in a state of consciousness, and I have this relationship with the center, with my beloved, with whatever is going on. And as long as there is a compatibility of consciousness, I stick around for a season. And sometimes those things change. I see that a lot in marriages. We seem to live in a time when that's okay. I mean, in earlier generations, marriage was not for a season. That just wasn't done. Divorce wasn't acceptable. I have no idea what homicide was like back then, but I know that relationships were really about survival, much more than they were about being happy. Now we're into a relationship to be happy, and if you don't make me happy, bye-bye. That happens more than we realize, and we're probably in some kind of a pendulum swing with that to figure out how that works best in our lives. But for now, we are finding our way in this seasonal relationship, which I believe is based absolutely in consciousness and how we relate to one another in that consciousness. That's okay. It's really okay. We've had lots of people come into this community for a season, stay for years, and then suddenly be called to something else. It's okay. You know, we often, when somebody's been around for quite a while like that, we'll bring them up here on the stage and love on them and tell them how wonderful they are. Well, and wish them well on their journey, of course. And every time they do, as I believe, there's always, for every angel that leaves, an archangel in the doorway waiting to take their place. And that seems to be how we've done this and how we've grown. It's interesting this time of year because we normally will welcome in new members this time of year. We will have our official member meeting next Sunday afternoon after the celebration. I'm making soups for you all that are coming to that meeting, which will go out after the meeting, just so you understand. And then at our next board meeting after that, we often review a list of people who we haven't seen in a long time. And that's always sad for me. But you know what? It's okay, because this is not the only place someone can experience a shift in consciousness. We think we do the best of creating a safe place where you can exercise this idea of awakening spiritually, awakening emotionally, awakening that essence of who you are, that divine essence. This is a great place to do it, but it's not the only place. By comparison, it's a pretty easy place. But some people aren't looking for easy, and that's okay. So everybody goes and does what they need to do. I've had some of my colleagues bemoan this idea that they have this revolving door thing in their center. And all I can say to them is you have to create a compelling reason for people to want to be there. And I think that we're creating a compelling reason here. And that's why, as we move into this idea of a lifetime, that this place can really work for that. Not for everybody, but for some. Some people recognize that simply by coming together and having Barbara or me or Christy or someone else share from the depths of their heart what's going on and how they see life in a valuable and meaningful way, hearing beautiful music, hearing some of our members come up here and share their hearts, telling you why the center is so important, and then all the time we spend socializing, that has a deep value in our lives that continues on and on. So we keep coming, we keep showing up, and it keeps enriching our lives. It's probably the small group of us. Even this room could be a small group of us that continue on for those that show up for a reason or a season, because they will come and they will go. And it's perfectly okay. Everybody's doing it exactly the way they need to get the most out of their life on their journey. So we bless everybody on this journey of awakening. We bless ourselves on this journey of awakening. We offer this opportunity to come and celebrate life, to go to a class, to be in a group, to be in service. All the things that we offer. And people receive them and use them. And isn't that wonderful? And when it's time to go, even the lifetime part comes to an end at some point. But those of us who are lifetimers and not the planning system have a great deal to get from this. I enjoy being in that relationship with this center. And I'm grateful to all of you for however you come and however you go, whether it's for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. The thing that we can remember amidst that are the words of Meister Eckhart, who tells us, I get absolutely right, not screw this up, let God be God as you. That's why we're here. I love you so much. Thank you so much.